White women try to act normal, challenge level impossible. Watch this. Especially when it comes to Black women, white people, the reason that they struggle with DEI so much is because they genuinely view these kinds of wins as something that is taken from them.
With me that she supposedly is for all this liberation, but she has not said a word about Pally and has backed that happening, has backed the of thousands of, she actually physically backed it. And like I said, she's a billionaire. She hoards resources. She hoards money. She doesn't redistribute her wealth like she should. If she did, she wouldn't be a billionaire. If she did, her community wouldn't be struggling as much.
Why is it that the system is only rigged when it's a Black person that wins something or gets something? Specifically a Black woman. Why is it then the system is rigged?
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you my people are watching this from, you're doing alright. And God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to me on here, I do appreciate you. And to my members, shout out to you guys. You do me amazing as well. And as always, we are back with another interesting, juicy one. And I don't think it's too late for us to, just look at it. It's always interesting to see how palm-colored women fail terribly whenever they are presented a chance to behave normal around Black women who are successful in the industry or in the corporate world. And this is very evident with the recently concluded Grammy Awards, where Beyonce emerged as the winner of the Best Country Album of the Year. Yeah, you could literally see how a lot of them resorted to going on TikTok and decided to spew racist rants about how, Beyonce shouldn't be the winner. In fact, a lot of them called her a DEI Grammy winner, which tells us that in their mind, a Black woman cannot be that good enough to actually win this because this is not her genre, forgetting that country music has roots in the Black community. That is where it came from, and they hopped on it and took it, just like they steal each and every other thing, right? But yeah, we do have different perspectives from different people on here, and I've compiled all these clips together. Shout out to the creators. We will have to watch them first, come back, and definitely talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're landing on the channel for your very first time. Let's watch this.
First of all, Beyonce is a terrible fucking actor. We know that shit's rigged. Oh my god, I won! Come on. Second, if I can find a clip later, I will put it up. Did you see the look on Billy's face? That was tears of frustration. She was frustrated. Because it's like, what the fuck? Beyonce has enough. She has enough credentials. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, it's gonna be Chaperone, probably Charlie XCX, or Billy. And then, of course, they call Beyonce. The look on Billy's face just really said it all. And this is not hate. I love that there's Black representation in country music now. I really do. But with how insanely popular Brat was, Hit Me Hard and Soft was, and Midwest Princess was, I don't fucking believe it. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Don't get me wrong. I used to love Beyonce. I loved, and I still do love everything that she stands for. And I love that she is a beacon to so many Black women out there. And I think that that is so amazing. But it will never, ever, ever sit right with me that she supposedly is for all of this liberation, but she has not said a word about Pally and has backed that happening, has backed the of thousands of innocent people, children. She actually physically backed it. And like I said, she's a billionaire. She hoards resources. She hoards money. She doesn't redistribute her wealth like she should. If she did, she wouldn't be a billionaire. If she did, her community wouldn't be struggling as much. So I don't have respect for Beyonce anymore. I'm sorry. She's too powerful. She has too much money. She has too much influence, and she doesn't need any more fucking awards. With that being said, side note, I have to throw this in there. The Quincy Jones tribute was my absolute favorite part, and I will not accept a Grammys that is not in February from this day forward, period. Thank you so much.
Now, I should be studying, but for you, I'm going to make some time. So, why is it that the system is only rigged when it's a black person that wins something or gets something, specifically a black woman? Why is it then the system is rigged? Also, so if she cared so much, then the community wouldn't be in the place that it is. Is the community Beyonce's responsibility or the government? Should we have a history lesson right now and talk about the systematic things that has happened in this country that has caused black people to be in the positions that they are? Let's talk about the people who have been in politics longer than Beyonce has been alive. Maybe it's their fault and not Beyonce's. And why is it that Beyonce is the only one that should be redistributing her wealth? Why is that? None of the other millionaires are required to redistribute their wealth and fix their communities, because there's a lot of white artists that come from very low income trailer park like situations, and the places that they come from are still very low income and very trailer park like situations. Ain't shit changed in where they came from in their communities. Beyonce actually comes from a very affluent middle class community. Where she came from, her community is doing fine. I think what you were saying is black people. That's what you wanted to say, black people. So now Beyonce is responsible for fixing everything wrong in the black community. So because she's a billionaire, it's her job to fix everything that's wrong in the black community, not the government that put a lot of the black community in the place that they are. Huh? And then you mentioned, oh, she's a bad actress, that no one is shocked. She's shocked because year after year after year, she's been snubbed. She's shocked because she's already been snubbed by the country music community. That's why she is shocked. And trust me, listen, Beyonce, Beehive, don't kill me, but I don't think Beyonce is that good of an actress. I ain't gonna hold you. Dancer, singer, all of that. Beautiful performer. But for those people who know Beyonce, who are fans of Beyonce, can see that is a genuine shock. She did not see that coming. So I think if anyone else would have won, this wouldn't have come out. And you know what? I just knew that this was going to be the talking point. So now you have a comment section full of racists using this as an opportunity to be racist. And you knew what you were doing. As much as you come back and you're trying to like, oh, white people, this isn't a moment for you to be racist towards Beyonce. That's exactly what you opened up the door for. That is exactly what you opened up the door for. Because you're not expecting any white billionaire to redistribute their wealth. And then you're blaming her. You're saying that she backed the unaliving of children. You're really putting that on her back? You are really putting that on her back. How did you said she physically did it? You said she physically backed it. I want proof. I want it now. I want proof and I want it now. Because what did I tell y'all? In 2025, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Y'all gonna leave black women alone. In 2025, we're not doing it. So you said that she physically backed the unaliving of children, and that is a serious offense to put on the back of a black woman. So you need to cough up some proof ASAP. Since you know for a fact, beyond the shadow of a doubt, and I don't want to hear some bullshit like, oh, well, she sided with this corporation. No, I want to know what Beyonce, Knowles Carter, did herself that caused the unaliving of children. You're not expecting no white artists to redistribute their wealth. You're not expecting no white artists to fix the fucked up shit that's going on in their fucking community. But somehow Beyonce is responsible for all this shit. Y'all gonna stop blaming black women for shit. If you don't feel like she deserved it, that's your fucking business for whatever reason, but we all know the reason. Y'all gonna stop it.
White women try to act normal, challenge level impossible. Watch this. Especially when it comes to black women, white people, the reason that they struggle with DEI so much is because they genuinely view these kinds of wins as something that is taken from them. So even these young white women, right, that we all may be making the mistake of thinking that these young white women are woke, aware of and understand the political landscape, they understand the misogyny that we as women all face. What they don't understand is intersectionality, and what they don't understand is that Beyonce winning does not take anything away from anybody. It just rewards her success. And this is the part that's really hard for white people to wrap their brains around. When somebody who doesn't look like them is rewarded for their actual and honest success, the way that Beyonce has been. Every year that Beyonce has lost, it's been like, oh, well, everyone that's nominated really is a winner. Like, it doesn't really matter. But this year, people are very vicious about, oh, she took this from Billie. She bought this. She could have bought a Grammy at any point, y'all. And even though Taylor Swift has won like 3 different Grammys, nobody ever accuses her of buying them. It's very interesting. She definitely bought it. It's because everyone is scared of her all of a sudden. Just this year, they all became so scared of her. So they finally gave her a Grammy. Like, y'all sound pathetic. Y'all sound like sore losers. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to be sharing air with y'all. For real. It's especially for me, the people that are like, I never heard of it. I didn't even listen to it. But I don't think it should have won Best Album of the Year. At least have something valid to criticize about the album. But you can't. You can only say that you liked another album better. You can only say that you were more exposed to another album. And you should also think about why that is, right? And why that other album was by a white woman. And why you were more exposed to it, more comfortable with it, you liked it more. Think about all of that. Because for you to say, I didn't even hear about the album and it shouldn't have won in the same breath is crazy. And it's showing your ass a lot more than you think. Put it together. I didn't hear the album and I don't think it should have won. You have to pick one. Either you didn't listen to it or you didn't hear anything about it or whatever. Or it's so mid and it's so bad that this album shouldn't have won. You can only pick one. Or else we're just going to have to start calling a spade a spade. It makes sense that the people that are the most mad about this are mediocre white women because they are the ones that get the most triggered by black women's excellence because they were promised that spot. White women were promised that spot if they just agreed to serve the patriarchy, to serve white supremacy. They're supposed to be rewarded for that, not the black women, okay? And that's the mindset that's coming from a lot of white women right now. And especially young white women. And that is really embarrassing. It's very cringe. You need to focus on bigger and better things for yourself. It's crazy to me how so many people will watch their favorite artist literally say that Beyonce is their favorite artist. I know that's something that Chappell Roan says about herself, and it's not true. This is your artist's favorite artist. This is if you were to ask, and they've asked a bunch of random musicians, producers, whatever, who is the best singer? And over half of them said Beyonce.
Who do you think is the best singer alive?
The best singer alive? Beyonce.
It had to be Beyonce.
Beyonce. I would say Beyonce.
Justin Bieber. There was one time we freestyled for hours and made 20 songs over the same beat.
Personally, I love the sound of SZA's voice.
I really want to honor Mariah Carey and the fact that she has like an 8-octave range.
We have Beyonce. We have Jasmine Sullivan.
Nobody else really got more than one vote. So she actually is your artist's favorite artist. We need to first of all get that straight. Nobody at the Grammys was mad last night that she won. So stop carrying water for people that don't need their water carried for them. I promise you, Billie is not upset right now. The way that Billie has spoken of Beyonce.
Some of the greatest artists of all time, like Beyonce, have made these visual albums, and I think she gave people the false impression that everybody could make a great visual album.
I know.
And so I think,
everyone's always trying, and no one can ever do it like
B. 3 in a row or whatever. It's crazy. So
the way that her and other musicians lined up just to talk to her at last year's Grammy. That should tell you everything you need to know about how Billie herself feels about Beyonce getting this award. I promise you she's not mad. Billie has her entire career ahead of her, and Beyonce's been snubbed for 25 years.
My Little Pony grew up. Are you kidding me? That was absolutely amazing. What an amazing night this is. This is just so lovely. Everyone here, everyone's donating.
We can have a conversation about which album of hers deserved it the most, but I don't think it matters. I believe that this album is no different. This is an incredible album. It's just very easy to forget how amazing somebody is when they constantly come out with amazing, complete, full, robust bodies of work. She could have done what your favorite artist does, but your favorite artist could never be Beyonce. I think a lot of mediocre white women are going to be upset about this because they want to see themselves represented. A lot of white women hate the excellence of black women. Once again, they were promised this spot, and they get so mad anytime that a black woman is given this award, which has historically been like twice. It's embarrassing, and y'all are telling on yourselves very loudly. Pipe the fuck down and let people celebrate. This has been 25 years in the making. This has been 25 years of consistency, 25 years of excellence, 25 years of bringing other people in. A lot of people said, oh, there's 67 writers on the album. Exactly. People don't understand. Even women that are like, oh, we need to live in a matriarchy. When they see a matriarchy in real life, they're like, oh, 67 writers. Billie would never. Exactly. You're right. Anyway, ladies, it's a bad look. It's also a terrible look to talk about how you've never heard of Cowboy Carter. And if you say that, we all know you're lying, by the way. We all know you're lying. Sad and pathetic. And especially the fact that once again, most of y'all are women is very disappointing. This is why at the end of the day, we don't have unity. This is why at the end of the day, we don't want to unite. We can't unite as women because some of us white women will be so quick to see injustice as soon as we perceive it even happening to somebody that looks like us. Then we see the injustice. She could have paid for a Grammy the whole time, but she hasn't. That's why y'all are mad, because she actually did deserve it over everybody else, because this was actually a complex, robust body of work. Also, in typical white fashion, a lot of us are upset about this because we don't realize that they changed the pool of Grammy voters to be more women, younger, and to be more diverse. All of this anger, this misplaced anger, tells me is that once again, white people have come to be rewarded for their mediocrity. They have come to expect a reward for not doing very much at all, for not putting in the work. Now they're upset when these awards are actually going to the people that worked the hardest, that have been around the longest, that actually deserve it the most. That's a lot of white people's real problem with DEI. Now that the pool is bigger, you have to do more. You have to be better. So stop crying and do what you need to do. Be better. Expect better. Learn to judge people on their merit, and learn to separate yourself also objectively from these people. Because once again, I promise you, Billie Eilish does not care. Like most people, again, that are not you losers, that are even close to being Beyonce's peers, because I personally believe she has none, but most people that are even close to being her peers are happy for her, and you're not. So think about that. I feel sorry for you, and I feel embarrassed for you. Please stop. Godspeed.
Well, you know, Jay-Z paid for the award. I don't give a damn if he gave him a lap dance, a casserole recipe, and a Rubik's Cube. I really don't care. Tonight we won big. I don't care if you didn't listen to the album. I don't care if you didn't like the album. I don't care if you don't like Beyonce. I don't care if you don't like black people. I really don't give a fuck. Because tonight was about years and years and years of disrespect from the Grammys committee. I went on Twitter and there were so many people saying, well, not like us. Why would there were so many songs that were bigger and this song was better and this song was bigger and most people know this song and I didn't even hear about that song that much and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter because sometimes things aren't for you. And I came to the realization that we do this every single day in this country being black Americans. We always have to realize that everything is not for us. That's not for you. That's not for you. We have to do that every single day. And the one time something is represented for us, representative of us, well, but what about, I didn't, it's all about you, isn't it? Mama, isn't it all about you all the time? If you only had to sit for 1 second in black American shoes and realize how many times we've watched the Grammys and seen a white artist win, or an album that we've never heard of, or a song we've never heard of that impacted white communities across the country that we don't know about at all, that win, okay? And we clap, we applaud, and we sit back and realize that not everything is for us. Now you have to do it one time and you're up in arms. Imagine. I'm not crying for you, mama. I have alligators here. Shout out Beyonce. I really don't give a fuck.
So this is what we're doing. Y'all keep forgetting that this woman has been in the game for 26 years. Beyonce Giselle knows motherfucking Carter has been putting foot and belt to ass in this industry for fucking years. And I'm damn near fucking 30. I've been at this shit since I was 18. Billie has been doing this shit for a decade. Did she deserve it? Yeah. But she was happy that she lost to Beyonce. Anybody that's happy to lose to Beyonce is a good fucking sport. None of you bitches understand that none of you bitches are in the realms of shit that we fucking do. If you think the shit is fucking rigged, how about you get up off your ass and hit the motherfucking studio? How about you sell out tours? How about you do that shit? But since you can't, shut your ass up and whatever you said is none fucking void, bitch. Shut that shit.
Hey, Billie Eilish fans, I have a question for you. What are you more pissed off at? The fact that Billie Eilish didn't win an award this year at the Grammys, or the fact that it took the Grammys 26 years for a black woman to win Album of the Year?
I have this look the whole night, but mainly I do want to talk about this. I mean, the whole show was weird. And a lot of it.
You used to use whites only bathrooms. Of course she would have a problem with black people winning a bunch of Grammys and the white ones didn't. It's pretty on brand for your kind.
I'm going to demonstrate the double standard that there is when it comes to what's considered real country. This is a chart that I have made, and I'll explain it to you. This is Blake Shelton. He is a white man. He is from the South, and he has a classic country sound, and he's considered real country. This is Keith Urban. He's a white man. He is not from the South. He's actually not even from America, and he has a classic country sound, so he's still considered a real country. Then there's Morgan Wallen. He's a white man. He's from the South, but he experiments with his sound. He actually implements a lot of sounds that come from black culture. For example, he puts beats in his country songs, but he is still considered real country. Then we have Darius Rucker. Darius Rucker is a black man. He's from the South, and he has a classic country sound, and so he is considered real country. Lastly, there is Beyonce. She is a black woman. She is from the South, and she experiments with her music. She is not considered real country. Now, what is different? Morgan Wallen is from the South, and he experiments with his sound and implements aspects from black culture in his music, and it's still considered real country. So why can't Beyonce do the same thing? Well, it's because there's another secret category, and it's called, are you a black person celebrating black culture? And if so, somehow it's not considered real country. And that is the double standard that Beyonce faces.
You wanna know what's crazy? Everything that you said could be applied to Taylor Swift. But because she's a white woman, we all know you're not going to apply that logic.
Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what you think about this episode that we are talking about right now. Should we always have to bring our people to come and bring out or represent these genres for these people to remember where the genres came from? Because yes, this music genre actually came from the black community. Palm-colored people copied that from black people. When we talk about the instruments that are very, very crucial in the country music genre, the banjo, which comes from West Africa, definitely, yeah. But guess what? Who doesn't even give any credit to the roots of the music? It's palm-colored people. You see how they own it as if it is their own, which they have always done still, and claim and, you know, be like, this is ours and that's it. But they are forgetting that it was all rooted in storytelling. That is country music. And it was started by black people. Most of the music genres, to be honest, all come from black people. This same banter happened, I don't know, was it last year or 2023 when this very album was released, when Beyonce decided to do, you know, country. Lots of them came out hating and they were silenced, but it looks like they are never quenched because I feel like they carry a certain hatred towards other people. Also, should we mention that a lot of these people are conditioned to be rewarded for their mediocrity, that when someone comes and outsmart them and override them, they cannot believe, how can you be smart enough? How can you be good enough to be better than us who have been dominating this? So I feel like Beyonce is a full representation of the country music genre and its roots, and I feel like that brings a certain level of appreciation. But also, there's a palm-colored lady over here that said that this is like literally palm-colored women. They are conditioned to, you know, have this spot for themselves. Nobody else is supposed to take it. And we've also often seen that their alliance is always to palm-colored men because palm-colored men promise them this position. And that's why the lady said that whenever they are given and presented a chance to be normal or act normal around black women that are successful, they fail terribly because they cannot take the challenge. According to them, there are certain things that they are not supposed to, you know, that are not supposed to be for other people. They are only supposed to be for them. You've seen lots of them forming some serious allegations and calling Beyonce one of those that support, you know, the genre that is happening in Pali, and how she physically backs that up. And that is something that is very, very serious. And you know what, in defense of this wall allegation, this young lady went ahead and she's like, she's ADHD, and she's like, you know, that's not what she means. She loves black culture, she loves black people, you know, she supports women, but she supports women until it is a black woman who has won. But also, how many palm-colored people that are billionaires that are coming out to speak on that genre that is happening in Pali? And why is it always supposed to be black people that are blamed for the misfortunes and the misery that is happening outside of the world, when you know very well it's your palm-colored billionaires that are supporting this? They are the ones that are benefiting from this. Take an example, your own palm-colored orange man wants to go and take, you know, Gaza, and he makes it whatever he want to make it, and you are blaming Beyonce for all this misery that is happening. How many palm-colored people change the situation of the neighborhoods where they come from? And do you think that one person, Beyonce, is gonna change the problems that have been created by the system for generations? How about you look into changing the system that was put there to benefit palm-colored people? And that's the reason as to why you feel entitled to having all the wins instead of a black woman that is just the ever first woman to even take this. And you feel like her taking this, she's taking the whole wealth of, you know, that has been preserved for generations for you. Is that jealous? Is that what? Sometimes I feel like we all have spaces to win. We all have enough room to fly. And I wish these people knew that a win or a success of a black person does not mean that they are going to, you know, drain their pockets. That's not how it works. these are years of hard work. The double standards of people that come from out of the United States and sing country and they win awards, but then a person that comes out of the United States from the South but cannot win, that's ridiculous. And at this point, it is very telling that these people, I think like one of their own said that they were promised a certain sport and they see black people are taking this sport. Now they are coming up with all these allegations. She's a DEI, she's not smart enough, she paid for it. Well, do you think that those other people could not afford to pay for those awards? So are you trying to tell us that each black person that makes it out there, they have to pay for it? Is that the reason that you call black people the biggest benefactors of DEI and they are the welfare queens, when in actual sense you're the ones that benefit from it? It's so interesting to see how they cannot take a win from a black person, from a black woman. And I guess at this point, everything is telling, and I hope that one day they come to terms with the fact that all along, black people were more talented than them, and they are capable of doing more than what palm-colored people can do. But also do not hold black people in a certain standard that you cannot hold your own people. One of the things that I always find very interesting is so hard for them to take accountability. They will always bring excuses of how I am not mentally in a good mental state. By the time I met this, I wasn't in a very good mental state. Isn't this the same thing that happens whenever a palm-colored cop, analyzes a black man? Yeah. That's the same thing. All of a sudden, he's suffering from a certain mental illness that we've never heard of. And it's the same excuse that she's giving. And she tries to sound like she did not open this conversation for the racist palm-colored women and men. But hey, unfortunately, it looks like it's too late for you to make up any of these arguments. And for those that are hating, you will continue hating while others are rising. Haters will always hate, and for black people, continue rising, beat them with your success, because that's the only language that they understand. Because when that happens, they'll open their mouths to yap. What do you my people think? I want you to let me know where you're watching me from, and put your thoughts in the comment section about this very episode. And please subscribe to the channel if you have not. I will definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Bye.